The cameras weren't supposed to catch this. Not the lingering glance. Not the almost smile that vanished too quickly. And definitely not the moment when Shen Yue reached out, hesitated, and then let her fingers brush against Dylan Wang's hand as if it meant nothing and everything at the same time. Because what happened at the end that day, it wasn't just about art, it wasn't just about teamwork. It was something far more dangerous, something fans weren't meant to decode so easily. At first, everything looked innocent. A simple creative task, a blank canvas, a quiet space filled with soft laughter and the hum of cameras rolling. The mission: to create a beautiful piece of art together. But what unfolded was anything but simple. Shen Yue stood there, brush in hand, staring at the canvas like it held secrets only she could see. Dylan Wang beside her, unusually quiet, unusually focused. And that's when it started, the subtle shift. The energy changed. You could feel it through the screen. Maybe we should start with something light, she suggested softly. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he stepped closer. Too close. Close enough for the air between them to tighten. Close enough for fans to pause the video and rewind. And then he said, almost in a whisper, or maybe we stop overthinking and just trust each other. Trust each other. 2 words, simple, harmless, but coming from him. In that moment, it hit differently. And just like that, the first brushstroke landed. But here's where it gets strange. They didn't plan the design. There was no clear structure, no outline. Yet somehow, every movement sensed. When Shen Yue moved left, Dylan followed. When he added a bold stroke, she softened it with delicate detail. It was chaotic, but perfectly balanced. Almost like they'd done this before. Almost like they knew each other beyond what they were willing to admit. And then came the moment that has fans spiraling. Halfway through the painting, Shen Yue accidentally smeared paint across her hand. She laughed it off, trying to wipe it away, but Dylan stopped her. Yes, stopped her. He gently took her wrist, looked at the paint, and without breaking eye contact, cleaned it himself. Slowly, carefully, silently. The room went still. Even the staff seemed to freeze, as if they knew they were witnessing something they shouldn't interrupt. And Shen Yue, she didn't pull away. She didn't laugh this time. She just watched him. And for a split second, just a split second, the world outside, that moment disappeared. But here's the twist no one saw coming. Right after that, everything changed. Dylan stepped back, too quickly, as if he realized something, as if he crossed a line he wasn't supposed to. The laughter returned, but it felt different. Now forced, controlled, like to people suddenly, aware of the cameras again, suddenly remembering the boundaries they weren't meant to cross. So what really happened in that moment? Was it just friendly chemistry? Or something deeper that slipped out when they forgot they were being watched? Fans started dissecting every frame. The way Shen Yue avoided eye contact after. The way Dylan kept his distance for the rest of the activity. The way their voices softened. Almost cautious. And yet the painting. The painting told a completely different story. When they finally stepped back to look at their finished work, even they seemed surprised. It was beautiful. Not just visually, but emotionally. Layers of color blending in ways that didn't make sense on paper, but somehow worked perfectly together. Bold yet gentle. Chaotic yet calm. 2 completely different styles, becoming one. And here's where it gets even more intense. When asked to explain the meaning behind their artwork, Shen Yue paused. Not for a second, not for 2, but long enough for tension to build. Then she said, it's about connection. Even when things don't match perfectly, they can still create something meaningful. Connection. There it is again. That word. That dangerous, loaded, impossible to ignore word. Dylan didn't interrupt her. He didn't joke. He didn't deflect like he usually does. Instead, he nodded and added quietly, sometimes the best things aren't planned, not planned, not controlled, not explained. And suddenly, the entire moment at the end didn't feel like a simple activity anymore. It felt like a glimpse, a crack in the carefully maintained image, a moment where reality slipped through the performance. But here's the question no one can answer. If it meant nothing, why did it feel like everything? Why did their energy shift so drastically after that one touch? Why did they create something so emotionally charged without even trying? And most importantly, why did it look like they were trying so hard not to show it? Fans are divided. Some say it's just professionalism, to experienced actors creating natural chemistry. Others believe it's something far more real, something that keeps resurfacing no matter how much they try to hide it. But one thing is undeniable. That moment at the end, it wasn't scripted, it wasn't forced, and it definitely wasn't forgotten. Because long after the cameras stopped at the